Thought I'd show you guys the process here I've got going. I've got my steel here on this little rack I made. I made it so that it could fit in the back of my truck, and I'd be able to drive out here with my camper shell closed and locked, you know, and stuff like that, because I had my tools in there. But essentially what I'm doing here is I've got all my steel that I need to cut down to length, and I'm taking it right over here in this next room. I've got it set up here. If you've never worked with this stuff before, it's hard to mark it with a standard straight edge or a yardstick or something like that. So what I've come up with, I'm sure that, you know, if you already worked with this stuff, you probably figured it out yourself. But if you haven't, this is good to know. Make your mark wherever you want your cut. Take a factory edge like this. I've got a factory edge on this piece here, and what I'm going to do is line it up with this mark I made right here. Put it right on there. Okay, move a bit. There we go. Press down on it. Just put a little pressure on it. So I've got 3 pieces stacked there, and what I do after this is I pick them up and walk over here. Oop, drop my pliers. Walk over here to the door, and I've got the generator running out here, and I can set the panels up on top of the generator, or the little box there, the crate, and clamp down to it and make my cuts. As I'm cutting down this corrugated tin with the grinder, I had to cut it back where in the state where I bought the thing, where I'm from. I bought it there and carried it out here with me because it was cheaper, and I wanted to make sure I got it. I had to cut it down. I bought it in 14-foot pieces and had to cut it in half because I only need like 64-inch pieces here on the back of the house. So that was a cheaper way for me to do it rather than buying a bunch of already pre-cut pieces. I bought the larger ones and cut them down. But I used the grid power out there to run the grinder. So okay, here we go. And this is the berm side of the house, so got around the window done. That slowed me down a little bit. And I was telling my wife that later on I'm going to come back in here. I should have done it from the start and snap some chalk lines on here where I'm putting my screws, so that, you know, I don't know. It's not really that big a deal right now, but later on I'll come back through and, you know, straighten some of these lines out. Like there, I was trying to kind of correct it, what I did, but either way, I'm happy with it. The material, it goes on quickly. You know, once you get openings are a little difficult, you got to, you know, put them up there, mark them off where the corners need to be, and then measure back and make sure that you line it up so that you're always overlapping the hump and the next ridge, so they overlap and line up. That was a little tricky to get around the window there, but it worked out well. So now I've got to go down to this corner. I'm going to try to get down to this corner for the day, and then I've got to decide whether I'm going to terminate with another trim board like I did over here, or if I'm going to wrap it and just keep it's not a very sharp turn there. so I could put a trim board flat on that, and just put one there and one there in this corner down here, past the window there. In between those two windows there's another corner, and I could put a trim board, a vertical trim board there. I might do that. I might just go continuous with it. What it kind of determines how that's going to work out is this first joint right here. If I get to this first joint and the overlap is in the right place where I can continue on and no problem, and the bend is in the right place right here where it looks good, then I'll probably skip the wood, because I'd rather have all steel back here. So these are openings here that are covered up. They're PVC pipes that run through the concrete wall, and it's for, you know, your plumbing, your hot water tanks, stuff like that need to vent outside, or you know, a few of them are for propane, and electrical for solar, you know. So they're ports, access ports. So anyways, got a long ways to go, but it sure is nice to start seeing some progress here. This is really what I came out here to do, and even if I don't get finished with it this trip, I'll be, you know, really happy with just getting the back of the place covered as much as I can, and then I can come back next time the material will be here, and maybe even cut up. If I can get into a rhythm where I can get it all cut up today, that'd be great. But anyways, guys, that's how it's going. I'm sure you can hear my voice. I'm tired. Been trying to burn the candle at both ends and getting inside and outside stuff going, because I got to maximize my efforts while I'm out here. So anyways, guys, good luck on your projects. Hopefully, if you have any questions about this stuff, so far it's going on real nice, and I'm able to keep my screws down in the low spot of the rib, because the spacing is 8" on center on these, so it's worked out fine. But when I get to some of these other areas where you can see where they've joined a couple of blocks together, they're not always 8". Sometimes they jump to 10, and I haven't got them marked all off right there, but I don't know how that's going to work out. I may end up having to go up on top of the ridges with some of my screws, so that would be unfortunate. But however it goes, I'm going to get this stuff screwed on there. It's the holding power of this plastic stuff. The ribs in the wall seems really good. So anyways, guys, until our next progress video, I'll be out here shooting screws into the wall.